Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Hello and welcome to another episode of Living the Dream with Curveball. I am your host, Curveball, and today I am joined by Tommy Breedlove. He is a relationship and mindset coach, as well as a Wall Street Journal and USA Today best-selling author of the book Legendary. Tommy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Curveball, thank you so much for having me, my friend. And here's to all of us living the dream, right?
Absolutely. Why don't you start off by giving everybody a background and telling people about yourself, anything that you want the audience to know?
Yeah. So I'd love to share a little, my favorite subject is me. So let's do it. That's a joke, by the way. Tommy, if I had to say who I am, I would say I'm a connector, I'm a speaker, I'm a healer, I'm a seeker of all things truth. In my professional life, as you said, I'm a USA Today and Wall Street Journal best-selling author of the book Legendary, featured keynote speaker, a business mindset and relationship coach for executive men, and I run masterminds. And in my personal life, I'm married to a beautiful woman of almost 20 years now, Heather Breedlove, and we have two beautiful dogs, Hodges Piper and Annie. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia.
Absolutely. Atlanta, GA. Now, let's talk about your corporate career. Tell us about what you used to do when you were in the corporate world, as well as about your transformational moment that made you decide to walk away from the corporate world after being so successful.
Totally. So I spent right at 20 plus years in what you would consider large financial consulting, public accounting, mergers and acquisitions, and everything in between. I started as a CPA and worked my way as some of the largest firms in the world, and actually made partner at a large firm here in the Southeast United States. I was a member of the board of directors, international practice leader prior to going through a major transition. And at 36 years old, before I was a partner and international practice leader, I was a junior partner in the firm. I grew up from very humble beginnings, Curveball, and good, solid South Atlanta, hardworking part of the world, blue collar. Was expected to be the first person in my family to graduate college, and I had every intention of doing that. But unfortunately, I grew up, and this is related to my transition out of the corporate world. But I grew up in and around a lot of violence and abuse. And unfortunately, at 18 years old, I had a full ride to the University of Miami. Half a ride to the University of Miami, a full ride to the University of Georgia, and was slated to be the first person to go to university in my family. And instead of doing that, I became what I hated, and I committed a violent crime when I was 18 years old. I was looking at 7 years in prison, and with the fact that it was a first offense and some divine luck, it was dropped to two heavy misdemeanors. I was sentenced to 2 years and spent my 19th birthday incarcerated. A great mentor appeared in my life at the time. It's the first great male man that appeared, like a male mentor that appeared in my life. And thank God he crossed racial lines to see something in me and to love me. And not many people, cross racial lines. It's very segregated in those institutions. And he saw something with me. He was a 46-year-old man. I was an 18-year-old boy. And he mentored me, taught me how to love myself. And because of his mentorship, I picked myself up and dusted myself off. And when I got out of there, I went to work in a nuclear waste container factory during the day and putting myself through community college at night. Did end up back at the University of Georgia, and was proud to say I went from a jail cell to Deloitte and Touche, which at the time was one of the largest public accounting and financial consulting firms in the world, in 3 years. So fast forward to I was 36, 37 years old, junior partner in the firm, had everything that you could imagine. Shiny cufflinks, fancy suit, corner office, large TV in the office, pretty girl on my arm, nice car, and thought because of my humble beginnings that, the money, the power, success, and the next big transaction was going to make me happy. And when I realized I got to that point and I was still unhappy, still unfulfilled, still living with fear, insecurity, worry, and was wearing all of these masks that weren't really me. Funny guy, competitive guy, can't ask for help guy, life of the party guy. And when the money and power didn't fill me up, I turned to all of the things in life that I thought would make me happy, and those didn't do that either. And so there I was, 36 years old, found myself literally waking up in a ditch in downtown Atlanta, probably doing some multi-million dollar audit or deal right before that, and just looked up at this blue sky and was thankful to still be there. Didn't know where I'd spent the few day or so before, and decided to transform my life. And that, when I decided to make this transformation in my life, that's when my whole life changed. I decided to participate in my own rescue. I decided to make me my full-time job. I'm talking about my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, and for me, my spiritual health. And when I did that through great mentors, coaching, programs that I attended, I went from, I'll tell you the tangible results. I went from junior partner in the firm to senior partner to elected to the board of directors to becoming an owner of the firm at 39 years old. Most of the people on the board of directors were in their 60s. My network 10x'd, my money doubled, my relationship with my wife became the best it had ever been. And I went from working probably 60 to 70 to 80 hours a week down to 35, but my results were just so much better. And I went from being one of the most beloved, hated people in the firm to one of the most beloved. And here's where the transition actually happens. There I am at the top of the game, yet a young age, and basically my success and financial freedom is assured. But the calling happened here is entrepreneurs, executives, ad agents, corporate guys, bankers, lawyers, accountants, you name it. They, people in my network, they all started reaching out to me saying, "Look, man, you didn't give up your drive or ambition, but you are happier, you are more fulfilled. Your relationship with your wife's the best it's ever been. You're working a whole lot less, and you're having a whole lot more success. Tell me what pill you're taking, or how do I get that?" And about the 15th person that I talked to, and started informally coaching, because I was still a partner and a member of the board at this firm, I realized there was something here, and I realized there was a need in this world. And so I took courageous action, ended up selling my equity in the company, and started coaching high level executive people to build and live legendary lives, a life where you are the master of your time. You are the master of your mindset. You build toward financial confidence and freedom. You have better relationships. You have unconditional love for yourself, and you live with purpose, significance, and impact. And I'm a big believer in that. In order to make impact, you need to have money, but it will not make you happy in the long run. And you've got to have all these other, what I call inner game skills, in order to be happy. And so I walked away. And since then, we've written a best-selling book called Legendary. We've built a world-class coaching business. We run masterminds for people, do a lot of public speaking, and we run retreats. So I'm just super thankful that I get to work in my purpose every day. Super humbled that, fortunately, I went through two major transitions in my life, and it's led me to talking to you, Curveball. So I just appreciate you letting me share that.
Absolutely. That's an amazing story. Well, talk to people about your book and about your masterminds and your retreats. What's all that about? Explain to people what they would expect if they were to be a part of what you're doing.
So the book is called Legendary. And the reason I selected that title in a world where everybody is Instagram and Facebook fabulous, or LinkedIn fabulous, is if Tommy Breedlove told everybody that I was legendary, people would laugh me out of the room. And what I love about the title Legendary of the book is that is a title that's given to us by our peers, our families, our communities, and our societies. And you could either be a great legend in this life or a totally bad legend in this life. And it doesn't mean anything about being rich and famous. Being legendary is in complete control as best as possible of all phases of your life. I'm talking about your time, I'm talking about your network, your relationships, your friendships, your money, and living with purpose. And to me, building and living a legendary life is helping make yourself, your fellow humans, this planet, and your business, family, and communities better than you found them. And so it's a simple playbook. It's a quick read. It's available in all formats: Audible, hardback, paperback. But it's great stories. It's a simple, fast read. But what I love about it, whether you need to reconquer your time or master your mindset or find purpose or build toward financial confidence and freedom, or maybe better relationships with your family, friends, or your significant other, or developing that unconditional self respect for yourself. We don't leave anything out. And we give simple tools that have been handed to me from great, wise people, my coaches, my mentors, things I've discovered. And we give you a simple playbook to help you live the life of your dreams and to build and live a legendary life. And all of our coaching programs, whether it's a one-on-one coaching program, a retreat, a legendary life foundation retreat, and or the masterminds that they run, is we are looking for people who want to be better in all phases of their life. I'm talking about their inner game. That means their heart space, their mind space, self-confidence, self-respect, better relationships, better people, but also building toward financial confidence and freedom, making an impact in this world, and driving life, love, and profession just to be a little bit better than we were yesterday. So that's everything that I do in a nutshell, my friend.
Well, let's talk about mastering your mindset. Explain what that is and what would somebody want to do? What steps would they take to master their mindset?
Absolutely. Great question. So when I talk about mastering our mindset, is if you live with a lot of fear, a lot of worry, insecurity, anger, or there's always this voice in your head that says, you're not good enough. What if they figure out I really don't know what I'm doing? And I'm a firm believer that if we talk to anybody else like we talk to ourselves, no one would like us. And so the first thing is to know about mastering your mindset is you're not alone. We all have fears, insecurities. We all have our wounds. We all have our mistakes. We've all made mistakes. We've all had things done to us. But it's us to start rewiring our hearts and brains for self confidence, self respect, and to learn to love yourself, learn to be in a room with yourself and not need all of the external noise, your social media, your news, your phone, video games, Netflix, whatever it is, for you to become your own best friend. And I'm a firm believer until you love and respect yourself and start conquering those noises in your heads, it's going to be hard for you to love and be as successful to others. So mastering your mindset is extremely important. And there's a whole bunch of tools that I go over in the book, but I'm going to give them to you very simply. The first thing that's most critical is you've got to hang around with people going in the direction you want to go. If you look around and the people you want the people that you hang around with aren't as successful as you want to be, or they're not as happy as you want to be, or they're filled with anger and judgment and blaming others for their problems, that's not going to help you master your mindset, because we are the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So that's the easiest thing you can do. Um, Another thing is, in order to become more proactive and not reactive, proactive to life, where you're setting your destiny and others aren't, that you're not reacting with anger or judgment or fear or worry or blaming others, is meditation practices, gratitude exercises, reading or listening to great podcasts like this one, or reading great books like Legendary that give you simple tips that you have to apply in your life. There is no magic pill. You can't will this to be. You must take action on these steps. So reading everything you can get your hands on in the self-development business, but you got to apply that thing. And it's not just taking action, it's taking continued action. Because in order to rewire your heart and brain, it's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym one time, you're not going to get fit. If you work on your heart and mind muscles one time, you're not going to become filled with self-confidence, self-love, and mastering your mindset. You've got to build these things every single day. So from reading to great coaches, to great mentors, to who you surround yourself with, to gratitude exercises, to affirmations, to forgiveness. And there's 10 or 15 other things we talk about in the book. But these are things every single day we must take an hour to work on our physical bodies, our mental bodies, our emotional bodies, and if it's important to you, our spiritual bodies. Because if we don't invest in ourselves first, if we don't take action, we don't actually go do the things that we want to do to get better, you're going to stay where you are or get worse. If we're not growing, we're dying. And the truth is, Curveball, if you want to know if you're not happy, or you're not as successful as you want to be, or you don't have the relationship, or you feel like your time's out of control, or your life right now has no purpose and meaning, I want you to go find the nearest mirror. I want you to go look in it. That's the problem, but it's also the solution. And so we have to, again, participate on our rescue, take action, and there's 1,000 little small baby steps that you can implement in your life in my book Legendary to help build that, master that mindset, and develop unconditional love and self-respect for yourself.
Talk about zone of brilliance and explain what that means to you.
Yeah, so what that means to me is this is very important for people in business or entrepreneurs or people looking to have more fun in their career or jobs. So we all have these God-given talents, and if you don't know what yours are, ask your closest friends or trusted colleagues or mentors or people that you trust. What are my God-given talents? What are the things that I'm really good at? What are the things that people come to me for? Your zone of brilliance is the intersection of those things with things you actually enjoy doing. So whatever those are, whatever your God-given talents or the things that you're really good at or things that people come to you for that you actually enjoy, apply those into your professional life, your career, your job, or your business. And here's the key. It's the difference between being a pro and an amateur is eventually over time, if you work in your zone of brilliance, your success, your innovation, your money, your profitability, your time, it'll feel like because you enjoy doing it and you're really good at it, it'll feel like you're not working a day of your life. And you can start small. It could be 15 minutes. You know, if you're new in your career or you just got, it's chaos right now. If you start with 15 minutes, that's still a pro move. It's something different than you did yesterday. And if you can get that up to 4 hours a day to where you're working in zone of brilliance and using the other 4 hours to do all the minutia, email and the other tasks that we have to do every day. If you do that in your job and your career and or your life, if you happen not to be working right now, I'm telling you, your happiness, your success, your impact, your fulfillment, it'll go up 10x. And so that's what I mean by zone of brilliance.
Well, for somebody who may have lost their way or lost their brilliance at the time during these tough times, what advice would you give them to be able to rediscover their brilliance?
Yeah, I would tell them to start doing something different today than you have. So where is it in your life that you need to work on? Is it, are you struggling with happiness? Are you struggling in your relationships? Are you struggling with your money? Are you struggling with, maybe it's time for you to learn a new skill? Is it time to go to school or go to a trade school or read a great book to learn a new skill? But here's what I would tell them they have to do. They have to take action. They have to do something better, do something differently than they did yesterday. And they have to invest in themselves every single day in that particular. You've got to prioritize. So what's my prioritize? Do I need to make more money? Do I need to find a new job? Do I need to learn a new skill? Do I want to be more happy? Do I want to build some financial skills so that I can build financial confidence and financial freedom? Am I eat up in worry, insecurity, fear, or judgment? So that would be, you need to work on mastering your mindset and or developing some unconditional love and respect for yourself. Whatever it is, you can't work on all of those things at once. You got to start with one and start with that one thing and start doing something different. What do you need to do? Do you need to learn a new skill? Do you need to read a book? Do you need to take a course? Do you need to start meditating? Do you need to start a gratitude practice? Do you need to start firing those people in your life that are energy drains, who are eat up in judgment, anger, fear, and worry? Do you need to surround yourself with more positive people? Because if you start changing yourself, I promise you the people around you will start changing, because you won't tolerate behaviors that you've never tolerated in your life. You will literally start wanting and desiring things different. And I'm always a fan of this. Again, I'm going to go back to it. Go look in the mirror. It's your problem and your solution. You've got to choose to participate in your own action, and you've got to take action, small actions every day to be a little bit better than you were yesterday in whatever thing you're working on. And there's 1,000 tools for you, and we talk about them in my simple book, Legendary. But here's the last thing. I want to say this: intention without action and action without intention is nonsense. So you got to be intentional about your actions, and all your actions have to be intentional, and they've got to lead in the direction you want to go. So if you're stuck, that's on you. But it's also on you to pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You've heard that I've done it twice in my life. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start doing something different today than you did yesterday. and start moving forward so that you can build the life of your dreams. You can build towards success. You can build towards happiness and fulfillment. You can build toward purpose and impact, because all of the great stories, here's what they all have in common. They didn't give up. They took action. They took continued action. And every time they got knocked down, they got back up. That's grit. And so that's what we have to do.
Speaking of financial freedom, what advice would you give people to who want to come become more financially confident?
Yeah, it starts with confidence and a mindset. So it's two different things. And so in order to build financial confidence, there's basic blocking and tackling tools that you need to learn about money. You need to learn about debt and how bad debt is. And this society is eat up in debt, from house debt to car debt to credit card debt. And usually that's because we want to have all these external things that we think will make us happy, even if we're broke and can't afford them. Well, that leads to tragedy, that leads to brokenness, and that eventually leads to misery. So you've got to learn basic financial skills. And I'm talking about budgeting, cash flow, understanding debt, investing, and savings. Those are very basic things. However, our system has done a poor job of teaching us those things. And so there's books out there that give you the tools on how to budget, how to invest, how to save, how to get out of debt, how to get out of credit card debt, and how to live today a little differently so that you can have a better tomorrow. And so there's my book, Legendary. There's Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, and there's Unshakable by Tony Robbins. And there's 1,000 YouTubes out there. There's 1,000 podcasts, great podcasts to help you be better with money. So the first thing toward building to financial, and it doesn't matter if you make $5 an hour or $50,000 an hour, because if you spend more than you make, you're not going to have financial confidence and freedom. So you must learn the basics of money. I mean, just general basics. And once you start learning the basics of money and finance, investing and savings and managing your debt and budgeting, you will want to start learning more advanced skills, which will help you start building toward wealth. That's step one. Step two is we've talked about it. You got to start rewiring your mindset, and you got to start rewiring your heart. You've got to get away from the victim mentality. Like, I grew up with very humble beginnings, and my parents taught me that those people have money, that we'll never have money like them. They're lucky. That is complete nonsense. It's a mindset. You got to believe that you're worthy of money. You got to believe that there's enough money out there for everyone, because the truth is there is. And so not only do you have to build the basics of blocking and tackling of everything money, like I'm talking about just the basics, just learn the basics. And then you got to start rewiring your heart and mind. And there's a lot of affirmations out there. There's a lot of great books out there. There's Secrets of Millionaire Mindset by T. Harv Eker. That's a good way of rewiring your brain to believe that you are worthy of money, that you can have money, and there's enough money out there for everybody. Because if you don't believe that, and you believe you're a victim, or you believe money is for them and not for me, regardless of your circumstances, you'll never have money. Here's proof of that. 95 to 99% of all lottery winners go broke within 3 years. They don't have a money mindset, and they don't have the basic skills, and people take advantage of them, and they spin their way into bankruptcy. And so you've got to change your lifestyle. You got to stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. You got to learn the basics of money, and you got to rewire your brain. And here's the key. Are you up for doing that? Or are you just going to keep doing the things you always did? And if you keep doing the things you always do, you're going to have the same results. So you've got to change your behaviors. You got to change your mindset. You got to change your knowledge. That's how you do it.
I know that you like to travel, you and your wife, when you
I
have
do.
free time. So, what's some of the interesting places that you've been in the world?
Thank you, my friend. The reason I like to travel is the more I read, the more I travel, and the more people I talk to, the more I realize there's a lot I don't know. In fact, I've come to realize I don't know anything. Traveling has allowed me to know that all humans around the earth just want to be seen, heard, loved, free, and valued. That's what we all want. And whether I'm in Italy or in South America or Asia or everything in between, you learn to enjoy their cultures. You get to see the differences between the United States and there. You get to see what's better. You get to see what's different. and you just learn that all people are the same. And some of the great places, I mean, I've been to so many places because I used to work in international business, and the thing that my wife and I enjoy the most is traveling the world. Some of the most unique places I've been to are Russia and Taiwan. Some of the most beautiful places I've been to are Patagonia, South America, Argentina, Colombia. I've been all over Europe. Europe is great. Each country is so significantly different than the other, from their language to their culture to their people to the way they look to the food. And so I would, as soon as the world opens up, and as we're recording this curveball, we've been in a lockdown and COVID. So as soon as the world, and traveling could be just the next state over or the next town over. But I think we need to travel. I think we need to read, and I think we need to open our minds up to others' ideas. And for me, traveling, I can't say I've got a favorite, but um, I find something good in everywhere I go. I find great people. I find the beauty in it. And I'm one of those people, glass half full. The more I work in this space, the more I work with coaches, the more I have people to hold me accountable. And I also am in masterminds. And what I've realized is that the more I travel, the more it's just, I learn more, I grow more, I'm more open minded, and it helps me to see the love, the learnings, and the goodness in everything, everyone, and every situation. Because no matter what's going out in the world, you can either see the darkness or the light. And when I travel, I see the light, my friend.
Is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you would like to talk about?
What I would tell everybody is this: is we've all got our wounds, we've all made mistakes, we've all got regrets, and no matter how bad the circumstances you come from, um, no matter what you've been through, you can, do you want to live your life, or do you want to live the story you've been telling yourself? And if you choose, and I'll say it again, to participate in your own rescue and do one thing different every day, or one thing better every day, and take one bad thing out of your life and add one thing good, and it could be something tiny. It could be an hour less of your cell phone and Netflix, and an hour learning a new skill, or reading a great book, or learning something and growing something, applying something to your life that'll make you better. You can write the ending of your own story. And so right now, because of the time we're recording this, there's a lot of worry and fear around politics, social issues, economic issues. And so because of that, if you go to tommybreedlove.com/gifts, that's GIFTS, we're giving away the Mastering Your Mindset chapters, and we're giving away the Financial Confidence and Freedom chapters as just a giveaway. And so it'll help you overcome that fear. It'll help you overcome worry. It'll help you build, all these skills and tools we were talking about on money side. And I just think the world needs that right now. So we're giving away that at tommybreedlove.com /gifts. And if you want to life hacks and hacks for mindset and purpose and hacks for money, our social media is not filled with judgment and fear and angry and politics. We're love, light, and tools to build and live successful lives. Check us out at Tommy Breed Love. And if you like the free 2 chapters of the book, go check out the rest of the book, because I do think books like this are not luxuries, they're necessities. You can listen to it, you can have any device read it to you, or you can get a paperback or hardback. So I would say write the ending of your story, participate in your own rescue, and do something small every day to make your life a little bit better. That's how I would end Curveball.
Are there any other projects or any kind of other books or speaking engagements coming up that you are working on that people need to know about before we go?
Oh yeah, I'm loaded right now, man. We've got 6 legendary life retreats coming up. We're going to expand. We're going to open up between 8 and 10 more masterminds this year. We've got a bunch of digital products coming out on discovering your purpose and reconquering your time and building better relationships, building toward financial confidence and freedom. So, I'm always speaking on podcasts, and as soon as the circuit opens up, I'll be at a local stage near you. But yeah, check out some of our digital products. We've got purpose and mindset, relationships, financial confidence and freedom, reconquering your time. We've got 10 masterminds opening up. We've got, I'm always on a podcast or on the road, but yeah, I'm super excited about 2021. I'm a glass half full kind of person, and I believe we choose our destiny and we choose our path, and we're just going to keep spreading love, light, and goodness, and hope that you check out some of our stuff, and we'd be happy to have you and help you move forward. So thank you for letting me share that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Breedlove. Tommy, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're so very welcome. Humbled to be here, and here's to all of us writing the ending to our story.
Absolutely. And listeners, please go rate and review the show. For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.